All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 23rd session of the Impromptu Hive. We've come a long way from when we started back in March, I think March or April. So it's been a great journey so far. For some of you have joined in for the very first time. So just to explain, Impromptu Hive is an initiative by Toastmasters of Delhi. So Toastmasters of Delhi is a public speaking platform where we conduct meetings on Saturdays. But we thought of creating a new initiative where we can experiment with new formats, new session formats, table topic debates, book reviews. So Impromptu Hive is sort of a culmination of all of these new formats. So we conduct our Toastmasters meeting every Saturday at 3:30, and the Impromptu Hive is every Sunday at 12 p.m. How it works, how today's session will work is, first we have a list of 10 speakers, 8 speakers today, and then we'll have evaluators, and finally we'll close off with a quick round of round robin session, and then we'll close the session for today. So just a couple of housekeeping rules. I am the topics master and the timer for today's meeting. So every speaker has 1 to 2 minutes to complete their speech, and their respective evaluator will keep track, they'll evaluate their speech and give feedback at the end of the meeting. This is not a Toastmasters meeting, so do not address each other as Toastmaster or any other Toastmaster related terms. It's an informal way to learn and in a positive and supportive environment. So welcome to all of you, and let's start with the table topic session. First is Geeta ma'am.
Yeah, hello.
Geeta ma'am, your topic is if I were to capture a single photograph of your life, what would it look like?
Okay, so this is, you are asking me or I am asking myself? Is it me? Can you repeat the question?
Just explain that.
I didn't get you. I didn't hear you, Rohan, once again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, so the topic is, if I were to capture a single photo of you, of your life, what would it look like?
Okay, thank you so much. There are beautiful moments in life, and we would like to capture it forever so that it could become a mesmerizing moment for us throughout our life, to give us the joy and happiness. Now, if I were to capture that moment in my life in a photograph, I would love to be by the seaside, because seaside is always beautiful, especially the sunset. The sunset and the sunrise are the beautiful moments, and I would really love to capture those beautiful moments. And whenever I'm unhappy or sad or feel low due to certain reasons, I would like to look at those photographs, and they would be rejuvenating me, giving me all the pleasure, would give me all the happiness that I require to come out of those moments of life when I feel depressed. So these are the moments which will always give me joy, and once captured in the photograph I can keep reviving those moments again and again, years later as well. So let us never forget that life is a mixture of sorrows and joys. So try to capture all those moments which give you joy, but don't forget, just like a rose, though it has beauty, it has fragrance, it has color, but it is not without the thorns. So let us remember to accept life with its beauty and the sorrows as well. So if I were to capture the moment, it would be by the seaside, because the sea is something that gives me immense pleasure and will always continue to give. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Geeta ma'am, for that wonderful take on the topic. The second speaker for today is Shakuntala, are you audible and visible? Okay. So your second topic is, so Geeta ma'am said that she would like to have a photograph by the beach. The second topic is a situation for you. You have to create a situation. The topic is, I was walking along the sandy beach and admiring the blue sky, and then suddenly, continue.
Then suddenly, I saw someone was coming from the sea, middle of the sea, walking here to me. I was shocked. How can anyone walk on the water? I was frightened and I was excited. I have read a lot of books about these wonders and all those things. And there's a lady who just looks like a lady with like a fish. And when she came close to me, I found she's none other than my friend. She asked me, why are you waiting here? I told, no, I'm just thought, who is coming to me? She said, no, have you forgotten? We both came to the seaside. I'm just here. I just took bath and you were just standing. Have you forgotten everything? I don't remember you. Actually, I don't remember anything at all. That makes me really confused. I don't know where to go. And then all of a sudden, I just fainted. When I woke up, I saw my friend Nupur was sprinkling some water on my face. Thank God I saw her. When I remember, I was somewhere. Everything was white. I didn't see anyone. But she said, no, I was here all the time. You just lost that time for a couple of seconds. I really wanted to know where I was at that time. I thought it's Nupur, but she said, no, I was not here. So all the time, wherever I go, I always dream about something happened out of ordinary. Because I believe in God, I believe in miracles, I believe in something excited to happen. Because right now, sometimes life is so monotonous. I want something to happen. Even if it is frightening, I don't mind. I can come out of that. At least something to think about, something to struggle about. I think it is all about life. Over to you, the topic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sakuntala, for a wonderful take on the topic. Okay, next speaker is Priyashi. Priyashi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Priyashi, your topic is, if you could be any age for a week, what age would it be and why?
Okay. I want to go back in my childhood days when I was 5 to 6 years old, because childhood is the most important period of, I think, one's life. We can't forget our childhood memories. And as far as my childhood is concerned, it was full of unimaginable things. I used to imagine a lot of things, and I was in fantasy world. And during our childhood, as when I see the child of 4 to 5 years, then I begin to remember my own childhood days. And then I realized that it is the most important period of one's life. And we should, age is a very beautiful thing. Na? We cannot revert back into our uh, we can't go back into our previous age, and we have only memories to remember. So I want to go back in my childhood days, and I want to do all these things which I used to do in my childhood time, like playing with my neighborhood friends, and doing a lot of naughty things, like ringing bells of others houses. And I want to, in childhood we have a lot of to do to imagine a lot of things that we can do, but in our childhood we are totally careless, and we have a lot of things, unimaginable things to do. So I want to go back in my childhood days. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Priyashi, for taking us back to the childhood. Very well said. Next is Kuldeep. Kuldeep, are you ready? Kuldeep, you're on mute.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, you're audible.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, sir.
Okay, great. So,
Well, firstly, would like to thank the admin for joining me in this group, as it's my first meeting in this group. And here again, I have a chance to enhance my skills, and you all together will help us learn new things, learn in a better way. So would like to extend my warm gratitude to each and every member of the group. So now please,
yeah.
what's my
Okay.
topic? I'm ready.
All right. So, okay, there's been a change. Geeta ma'am will not be able to evaluate. So, Sakuntala, can you evaluate Kuldeep as well?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, Kuldeep, your topic is, if happiness was the national currency of your country, what kind of work would make you rich? If happiness were the national currency, what kind of work will make you rich, Kuldeep?
I would go to tourism industry, because India is, according to topography, India is one of the lands, one of the countries which has almost all seasons, almost all sorts of topography. It has seas, it has oceans, it has the great Himalayas on its forehead, and at its feet, it has Indian Ocean, as everyone knows, and it is full of its flora and fauna is beautiful, is very rich, and I mean, I am enthralled, I am happy, and I would like to be born again in such sort of country. And I would surely go to tourism industry, because I would get a chance to wander whole country, and I would be, making people aware of each and every concept. And I really feel happiness when I make people aware of the truth, of the histories concerned with the particular place. So, and it gives me an honor, it gives me real happiness when I help people learn new things, the way I, in the beginning, thanked all of you for giving me one more chance to learn again. So I would surely go to tourism industry, would be taking people where the real beauty exists, where the real, and you must have, all of you visited, I guess, if not, then you must go to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Lakshadweep, where we never even think of going, but it is full of corals. It's very enthralling. So in the Himalayas, you have no idea how beautiful the Himalayas is. Trekking, watching real glaciers, watching these source of rivers, where they start, and lots of beauty is in our land, and I would be taking all of you to such places, so that you will be founding yourself, left spellbound by the nature, and yeah, I would be very rich with this sort of currency. Thank you, everyone. This is all from my side.
Great. Thank you so much. Great take on the topic, Kuldeep. Thank you so much for speaking on it and giving such a beautiful take. Next, we have, let's see who's here. Sijia is not here. Tez is not here. Arjun. Arjun, are you here? Arjun, I think you're on mute. Okay, Arjun is not audible, so we'll come back to you, Arjun. Dinesh, you're next. Hi, Dinesh.
Hi, Rohan. Am I audible
Okay.
and visible?
Yes, you are. Okay. Okay. So in childhood, we dream to be certain things. We dream to be a doctor, engineer. We dream to be lots of different things as we grow up and our dreams change. But convince us of your dream to become a shoe. Why would you become a shoe and why would you dream of becoming a shoe?
Shoe. Just let me clarify, Rohan, one thing. Shoe, the which we are wearing, right?
Yeah, you dream to become a shoe in the future.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rohan. I remember that one night I was sleeping in a very deep sleep, and that time the thought came to my mind that I'll be a magical shoes, and that can be used by the young generation for climbing on the wall. Also, we can jump for the more height, for more than 20-30 feet height. You can jump, and that has a magic, and which is very costly, which cannot be which cannot be affordable to everyone. That can be by only for the affluent family or few class people. So that was made for class only, and I was enjoying by becoming that shoes, because uh, that that gave me immense pleasure, because after wearing, people used to feel that they are in a heaven, they are become the magician, something like that, because whenever they used to wear, they used to jump a lot, uh, better than the normal people. It was a kind of a different feeling they also used to get after wearing me. So uh, everyone is to ponder upon that, what they are doing, what from where they bought, because this is something which is extraordinary, which no one has even imagined. So it was a beyond imagination. So especially the defense people, the government has bought the shoes which the capabilities, the caliber which I have, that kind of shoes government has also bought for the for special kind of like a James Bond, in James Bond movies which we have seen. So that kind of things government has also bought for giving the uh, special things, so that they can use to fight with their enemies for the betterment of the life of normal people. So that's all from my side, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, for a very cool take on the topic of shoes and becoming shoes for this topic. All right. Next up, we have Nupur. Are you here?
I am.
Okay.
Arjun. Audible.
Okay, your topic. Sorry.
Audible
Yes.
and visible. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Nupur, convince us to adopt you.
Thank you, Rohan, for giving me that bouncer of a topic. Convince you to adopt me. I was just discussing it was something with my cook today morning. telling her some recipes, and also she was talking about taking a cycle from me, my kid's old cycle. And she mentioned that, Didi, you should have been a boy. I don't know why you are here as a girl. I asked her why. Why do you think no boy would make rongde chutney with, which was the cranberry chutney? Why do you think that I would be a boy? She said the kind of things that you think you mentioned you have done, that suits more like a boy. And then yes, you're right as well. You do all things that are good for a woman too. So I am confused. That's what my maid told. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want someone who does all the activities, climbs trees, is good for a good road fight, and also keeps the house well, and already is mature where you do not have to change diapers, please go ahead and adopt me, because I am one in a whole package, and I would make sure that I will watch with you Marvel comics, Marvel series, as well as
Nupur, you're not audible, I think.
Yeah, same here, Rohan. I'm also not able
Can't
to
hear
hear. Yeah. I think the moment the ringing bell was,
Yeah.
from that time.
No, Nupur can't hear you. Oh man, Nupur was going great, but then yes, now it's fine.
I don't know what happened with my system. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Did I go halfway or what?
After the phone rang, we lost you basically.
I think my suggestion that if she will start right from the beginning, then that will.
No, like you can continue. Like you were talking about. Nupur was talking about. Yeah.
You were talking about that change. You don't know, people who adapt you.
Marvel Comics.
All right, I don't know how it will go ahead, but all I think I remember saying at the end was, if you want if you want your child to sit with you and watch Marvel movies end to end and series, as well as sit with you and watch melodramatic crying movies as well, then please do think no further and take this all in one package and adopt me as your humble child. I would be there giving you benefit of a boy as well as a girl. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Great topic taken, Nupur. Thank you. All right, coming to Arjun. Arjun, are you here now?
Yes, Rohan.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Arjun. All right. Arjun, your topic is, if not now, then when?
If not now, then when? This is the question that every step we take in our life, we need to answer this. If not now, then when? We need to take the step right now. We don't need to think a very further, for instance, like years down the line, we'll do this. Why not now? We have a life ahead. We can achieve things right now. We can modulate things and work towards it. We should think our vision clear towards 2030 and start the steps doing right now, right today. Because the compounding that will happen with those things. Like if we start investing today, we'll have it compounded 10 times better, 10 times better in 2030. And various things, like if you want to do any business, if you want to do anything, you should start right now and have it, see the compounding happening to it. You should do everything. You should not think like we'll start it 10 years down the line. Why not today? Why not today? You should start the same thing that you're thinking about it. You should think your vision to be far ahead, and what you actually want to do in life, what you actually want to achieve in life, and you should work towards it. Not working in a 9 to 5 job might be a thing that you would like to do, and or you might want to get out of it. Why not quit today and do the things that you would like to do and enjoy the life? If you start working towards the things that you like to do, you won't feel it as a work. You would feel it as something that enjoys you, and you will work towards it for all your, like, you won't feel tired, and you will work 16 hours a day doing that work. So why not start today and achieve the thing that you want to achieve in life? Thank you, Rohan.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks so much, Arjun, for a wonderful take on the topic. Okay, so we have three speakers, 3 speech slots left. Does anyone want to participate?
Hi, I'd like to participate.
Who's this?
I'm
Arjun.
Anurag.
Anurag.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. Anurag, Shivangi, and okay, Dinesh, can you evaluate Anurag and Shivangi, please?
Your mic is on mute.
Dinesh, you're on mute.
Sorry, Rohan, could you please repeat whom I had?
Can you evaluate Anurag and Shivangi?
Yeah, I can.
The next 2 speakers. Okay. All right, Anurag, you're up next. What would you not give up? Anurag, you're on mute.
Okay.
Your topic is, if I were to give you 50 crores in cash, but you have to reject it for one good reason, what is that one reason which you would reject 50 crores for?
That's a very super easy topic. What would I reject 50 crore cash for? I mean, it depends. It actually depends what's the currency denomination of those 50 crores. Now, if it's Zimbabwean dollars, I'd reject it outright. I'm like, what the heck, dude? I mean, it's not even going to, be used for burning trash. What would I be using that currency for? Yeah, it could be a very good archiving, for collector's item, but nothing apart from that. One note would suffice. 50 crore of them, not my cup of tea. 50 crore dollars, I'd go back on my word. I'd go back on the topic. I'd go back on anything in this world. Put it in my pockets right away, right now. As far as going back on my word, rupees would also do. So anyone who's willing to give me 50 crores of cash need not take that much of headache. Rupees would also do. Even Pakistani rupees would do. They are like worth two Pakistani rupees for one, but yeah, I am game for it. So yeah, it all boils down to what the currency is worth. Apart from that, I'm a materialistic person, so don't worry on that front. Moral is just, it went right out of the window based on the topic. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Anurag, for being so outright about your materialistic desires. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the first time you're attending, so Anurag, welcome to the Hive as well. So first time I have seen you here. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rohit. Pleasure.
Great.
Looking forward to learning from a lot of you.
Great take from a first timer.
All right, Shivangi, you're up next.
Hi, Rohan. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. All right. Your topic is, if you could travel back in time to any point in the history of the world, when would that be, and whom would you like to meet and why? Talk about that.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by saying that I don't know why, but it is the third time that I've been given the same topic. And all the three times my answer has been same. If I could go back in time, I'd like to go to the point where the first case of COVID virus came back in China in Wuhan. I would meet the person who ate a bat, apparently, and I would warn him, do anything. You go out, you eat a crab, you eat a fish, you eat a lion, you eat a tree, anything but a bat. Please. My college life is at stake. Rohan's office is at stake. Lavina's personal life is at stake. Nupur, Dinesh, every one of us here, we are sitting at home because you decided to have that bat for dinner. So please, I request you, do anything, anything at all. I say you kill 3 people, but please don't eat a bat, because the consequence is going to be thousands of people being stuck at home, thousands of people in the hospital. You don't know what's going to happen. Next, I would like to go to the Chinese government and I would tell them, you do anything, but please disclose this at the earliest. You do anything, you kill 10 people, but disclose this 3 months before you could. I would then go to the world governments and I would tell them, you do anything, but you introduce the lockdown at the first instinct you hear about the virus. You kill 100 people, but you introduce that lockdown as soon as you hear from China. That would be my take if I could go back in history. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shivangi. And hopefully this topic will stop for you going forward. All right. I have one final topic. If anyone would like to take it up. Anyone, any volunteers?
Rohan, I'd like to go next, please.
Yes, please. Lavina. Okay, this is a philosophical topic for you. Home. What comes to your mind when I say home?
What comes to my mind when you say home? Home for me is much beyond the residence that I currently live in. Home is a place wherein I'm happy, I'm secure, wherein I'm surrounded by people who don't judge me, who accept me, love me, and like me for who I am. Home is a place wherein I don't have to be mindful if I'm putting my legs up on the sofa or if I'm leaving dirty dishes around, or rather, if to be honest, if I'm leaving my books all around. Home is a place wherein I don't have to answer anybody if there are couriers coming daily of Amazon books and the bells are ringing because of my couriers. And hopefully home is a place by the beach. Home at the end of the day is with the people I love, the people who love me, people who matter, wherein I don't have to think twice, wherein I trust them implicitly, and there has been no reason ever for otherwise. Home is my safety nest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lavina. Quick question for you. Would you adopt Nupur to be in your home?
I would love to. Nupur, in fact, please adopt me and teach me how to make that chutney. My mother would be thrilled.
All right. Okay, so that's all for the table topic session. Great attempts by everyone on the table topic. Hope you enjoyed the topics. We now before we move to the evaluations, I'd like all of you to vote. Just give me 1 second. Okay, please vote for the best speaker. All right, we now move to evaluations. Firstly is Sakuntala will be evaluating 3 speakers. Sakuntala, you have 3 minutes to do your evaluation. Your time starts now. Sakuntala, are you there?
I don't see her.
Okay, I think she dropped out. Okay, let's go with Nupur. You're up next.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I would start the evaluation with Dinesh, who went first. And the topic was convince why would you want to become a shoe? Dinesh, what an amazing, amazing take on the topic. And the first go, I was thinking, oh, Dinesh, should we take 30 seconds to actually think what to say, but you just went straight ahead and started with the topic. You covered everything right from the magic shoe to James Bond and the government. You went for you covered the topic in a very holistic manner, which was a great takeaway on that. What I really liked is that, yes, this is a topic where you have to think and speak. You have to create a story in your mind, and then keep on speaking. And the speed at which you were weaving that story was well done. Commendable. Thank you so much, Dinesh. A couple of things that I would like to recommend here is that we can try working on the grammar part and the structure of the sentence. We usually, when we are thinking and speaking, we are framing the sentence in a haphazard manner. But if we can work on that, maybe try to speak it in front of the mirror or something, the framing part would be better, and thus the message that we want to convey would be great. So that is a small recommendation from me with Dinesh. Well done. Thank you so much. Next, we have Arjun, and Arjun got a very philosophical topic, if not now, then when. And kudos, Arjun. You too did not even take a fraction of a second to start with the topic as if you had already thought about it. It was something very close to you. And the pointers that you covered the vision of the future. You covered the compounding factor of starting now. All these topics were as if you have either researched about it or thought about it, which came across in your speech, which was very, very nice. Kudos to that. A few recommendations from me. You started with the hand gestures very nicely, but then after a certain point of time, your hands came down and only a small portion of it was visible, and that too not very clearly. So when any movement, any hand gestures would have added to the focus of what you are speaking about. So if you can just take on that. And also one last point, a well said speech, just a closure line, some kind of a takeaways would have added some more stars to the speech. That is all from my side. Arjun, great work there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Rohan.
Thank you so much, Nupur, for a wonderful evaluation. Dinesh, can I call you next to evaluate Anurag and Shivangi, please?
Yeah, I can start my evaluation. First I'd like to go with the evaluation for Anurag. So the question was 50 crore cash if he has got. It was a very nice question, and he has tackled the question brilliantly, and it was a blend of smile and body language as well, and that has made everyone to smile because it was involved humor. So in your table, you have attended it in a very beautiful way. So I failed to find the flaws in your table topic. one suggestion I would like to give, that moral, if you could have added moral or call of action, so that will be, I think, given little more flavor into that. So overall, it was a brilliant. So that's all from my side for the Anurag. Second, Shivangi, the question was if I could back to history. Uh, so Shivangi, again, she has attended this question for 3 times. So I think she has become expert in handling this kind of questions. So because of that, she has done excellent. And again, Shivangi has a very beautiful smile, which was beautifully timed while dealing with these kind of questions. So only thing is that, again, if there is a call of action or something like that, so that your audience need to think that what you have delivered, they should ponder upon thinking, then you could have delivered, and your audience could have thought, they must have realized to think that you can do. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for a wonderful evaluation.
And
Now you
sorry,
quickly, sorry.
and I'm evaluating for the first time, so I know there must be flaws in my evaluation as well. So
No,
sorry.
there's no flaws. It's only learning. We learn over time, and this is the platform for doing that in a very feedback-oriented environment. So don't worry about that.
I had a question.
Okay, I'll evaluate now. Yes.
I had a question. What's a call of action? And could you give an example?
Call of action is a takeaway. So basically, once you end your speech, you lead that towards a call of action by saying that, okay, if call to action is basically prompting the audience to think of something, to think about the topic in a much more deeper way after you're done. Basically, when you complete your topic by saying that I'm materialistic and I'll take 50 crores in Indian or for Pakistani currencies, whatever it is, then the call to action would be,
if you also could got that much money, then that triggers the audience to think upon that. Yeah, if I also get this much money, then what I'll do with this money. So that kind of call to action which I am referring to. And anyways, you are attending for the first time. You have done great. You've done a very brilliant way. It was flawless, in fact. But that was a little point which I added.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Dinesh.
Yeah, thank you, Anurag. Thank you.
All right, so I'll quickly evaluate Sakuntala, Priyashi, and Lavina. Firstly, Sakuntala's topic was she was walking on a sandy beach and she dived straight in the topic by creating a story out of thin air, and her imagination was really amazing in this situation. And what I liked about Sakuntala is she added a takeaway in the end about what she liked about that particular situation. So very well done, Sakuntala, on structuring the topic very well in such a way that you started with the story and then added a takeaway in the end. Second, Priyashi, your topic was if you were to go to a certain age, what would it be? Priyashi, you were jumping between two different things. One is your own example, and one is in generic what people will do when they travel back to a certain age. So I would recommend Priyashi to bring in more structure to it by starting with probably an example, saying that when I was 5 years old, I did these things, and I love doing it, and I still dream of doing that, and that is why I would go back to being 5 because of these things. So support your example support your statement by supporting examples. So you have 2 minutes. So ideally, what you do is 1 to 1.5 minutes, create a story and then finish it off with a quick takeaway that this is what I would do at 5 years of age. But very good example presented, just a bit of structure needed here and there. Lavina had a great take on what home means to her. Just one recommendation for Lavina is start off, your story would be much more of a story when you start off with an example. When you take an audience through an imagination, saying that imagine that you enter your home and you put your slippers up on the sofa without anyone noticing. You say anything, but no one judges you, and so on and so forth. So build a story around that makes the audience think about themselves, and that makes the audience visualize themselves in your situation, and then hit on your takeaway, which was amazing. Your takeaway was very good. Just adding that element of storytelling would have engaged the audience even more, because you talked about it from your perspective, but talking about it from an audience perspective would bring in the audience even more. So just one recommendation for Lavina. All right. So with that, I end my evaluation. Who's Sakuntala back yet? No. Okay. So Sakuntala was evaluating Geeta ma'am, Nupur, and Kuldeep. So I'll ask her to post her evaluation on the group or individually with all of you. Okay. So that's for the evaluators. Please vote for the best evaluator. Okay, if you're voting for Dinesh, can you please vote for Geeta ma'am, because Dinesh has taken Geeta ma'am's place. So if your vote is for Dinesh, you can vote for Geeta. Okay, with that, just a quick note on the timers report. Everyone spoke within time except for Kuldeep. Kuldeep, you spoke for about 3 to 3.5 minutes. So I recommend bringing more structure. When you see the green card or yellow card, that's an indication for you to jump to the conclusion and probably make and end with your takeaway. So just one recommendation for Kuldeep on the timing aspects. All right. So we now come to the final segment of today's session, which is round robin. Nupur, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rohan. All right, folks, I think everyone here would be aware of how the round robin works. I would start with a topic, maybe a story or something, and I will pass it on to the next person, and that person would speak on the topic and then pass it on to the next. What I would suggest is I have the alphabetical order here in the participant list, so we can probably just take that up and go through that alphabetical order. All right, so let's start. I would have been all about 10 years of age, and we stopped at a roadside dhaba. There was some very fried pakoras coming out of the what we call a thela in a small village. My father gave me a plate and he said, just take it to your mom and your aunt and let them eat it. My mom and aunt cherished, and they were like all very happy, very excited. My father had a weird smile on his face when he came back and sat in the car. When we started driving, my mom was all praises about the paneer pakoras supposedly that were there. And my father started laughing and he said, well, you've turned a non-veg today. They were not paneer pakoras, they were fish pakoras. So that was, I believe, the weirdest thing that my mom had, nothing to do with bad. But I would like to now hear from all of you, what is the weirdest thing that you have had or would want to try? Over to you, Anurag.
Okay, so again, this is a 1 minute topic, or how does it work?
No time.
20 seconds per speaker and then pass it on.
And it's a continuation of a story. Okay. So the weirdest thing that I've had is a delicacy which my sister recommended. It's a watermelon ice cream. What an utter crap it was. I mean, I would turn a non-vegetarian instead of having that ice cream. Watermelon ice cream. Oh my God. Give me 50 crore Zimbabwean dollars. Watermelon ice cream. No. Imagine the crap. Over to you.
We have Arjun next.
The weirdest thing that I had was a barbecue burger, a barbecue chicken burger. I had it in Tom's Diner, or a very good restaurant, and it was like I was unable to eat that. It was that bad. Only the fries that came along was nice. We actually had that and came back. That was the weirdest thing. And the second weirdest thing that I had was the fish at this Pondicherry in a restaurant. It was the same. It was not at all tasty. We thought it would be fresh as Pondicherry is sea, near the sea, and everything would be so fresh. But then there also we only had the sides and salad, and that's the weirdest thing that I had ever had.
Thank you, Arjun. Let's move on to Dinesh.
Well, when we were going that time, I seen a small thela. There was a vada pav on the streets of Mumbai. So vada pav, which is favorite to me also personally, and my daughter also liked the vada pav the most. And so there was a huge, massive crowd because the taste which vada pav has. So we have to wait for long hours. Around after 2 hours. Standing in a queue, then we got the vada pav and we have eaten and enjoyed. And there also there was a lassi wala, which was very famous there also for the lassi. So we enjoyed both vada pav along with the lassi. So over to next, who's coming next?
Lavina.
Lavina.
The weirdest thing I ever had was snail deep fried from a roadside thela in Diu. So this was my very first all-girls trip, and we were 3 vegetarians and 1 non-veg. I was more of an experimental when it comes to cuisine. I will not call myself a vegetarian. So my friend who was a non-veg had heard about snails being a delicacy of Diu and wanted to eat them. So I went with her, and she told me that it tastes just like cashew. So I said, okay, why not? And I popped one in my mouth. It was about an inch long. And I think it tasted somewhere like between plastic and thermocol. And I did not have the heart to say that loud. And my apologies to any snail lovers here. But watermelon ice cream was far superior. I hand over to Kuldeep now.
So the weirdest thing I have ever had, no offense, firstly. So once we planned to track during midnight around at 14,000 feet, and there at a village they asked us to stay warm during your trek because it was around 5 to 1 degree centigrade, and the villagers, they offered us the soup of goat's brain. And in the beginning, and it was like a custom. So in the beginning, we were very, sidetracking, but we had to. And well, it was good, but it was weird. So over to who's next?
Great. I'm sorry, I think I missed you, Kuldeep, here in the sequence that I can see. But we have Priyashi next.
Yeah. K comes first.
Priyashi, do we have? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. While I was walking through the market, the weirdest thing that I have ever had was Italian corn. I purchased it because they were smelling too good, but after purchasing them, when I ate them, they were totally too bad in taste. But I decided that I will eat the full cup of corn because I had spent 80 rupees for a cup. But I was not able to cope up with them because they were tasting so bad. But I keep on eating them so that my money would not be wasted. But I was not able to cope up with them. So finally, I decided that instead of eating them, I should give them to a beggar or the person in need. So finally, I gave them to a beggar. But I decided that I won't purchase them again.
Great. Thanks so much, Priyashi. Moving on to Rohan.
So I'll talk about a weird thing that I've seen, but I've not had. So I made the mistake when I was in Prague couple of years back of going into a Chinese restaurant. I thought of having some good Hakka noodles, of having some good Chinese delicacies. But I didn't know the Chinese eat anything and everything under the land, under the sun that moves. So I saw an item on the menu which was called the salad with monkey's mind. And I thought, wow, what a cool name. But when I asked the waiter what it was, he said they put the monkey's head on top of a plate and surround the salad around it. So that was the weirdest and scariest thing I have ever seen, but I've not had, thankfully. So that with that, over to the next one.
Let's move on to Shivangi.
So it was around 10. We were having a class. I was about 15 years old. And you know how we children are hungry always during a boring class. I was having my history class. So I take out the lunchbox from my friend's bag and I start eating macaron. He comes back and he says, can I also have a bite? I'm sure. I was like, sure, this is your lunch. So he goes on eating it and he's like, looks like mummy added chicken pieces in this. And I look at him and I'm like, oh my God. But then I ate it. So I'm like, okay, well, now that I've eaten it, chuck it. I'm going to have it anyway. And now that I have my next bite, it does feel a bit sweeter than usual, a bit chewier than usual. But before he told me, it was just like any other veg macaroni that I ever had. So my final thoughts would be that it's all in the mind.
Thank you so much, Shivangi. Let's move on to Tarun. Tarun? Would you want to go for one?
Yeah, ma'am. I just joined first time. I don't know what to.
You just have to you just have to tell us about a weird thing that you must have eaten or you would want to eat in your life.
Weird thing. Actually, okay. It's difficult to speak in English.
Rohan, do we need or can we give a chance in Hindi?
Tarun, can you just talk about any food just for 10 to 15 seconds?
Sorry?
You can talk about any food for 10 to 15 seconds. Just talk about what seems weird to you and then, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. One time I made a Maggie for my friend and I just put extra chili that Maggie and it's really weird. So my friend said it's so bad.
Great, Tarun. Thank you so much for sharing that. I wonder what would have happened the next morning, but all is well in friendship. So yes, weird things, weird eatery things. We have, I believe I ordered a burger and the person deep fried the burger and gave it to me on the roadside. And once I asked for a fish and they literally had a toothpick in the mouth with the eyes popped out and stuck with a toothpick served on a plate with and that was probably the two non-appetizing things for me that I've ever seen on a plate. I did not want to eat anything after that. So that is all from me on the round robin. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating and sharing those weird food. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nupur, and thank you so much everyone for participating and being a sport along the way. With that, we come to the end of the 23rd session of the Impromptu Hive. Any guesses for the best speaker?
Anurag.
And any more?
I'll go with Rohan for the monkey itself. That sounded
No,
real.
that's not stable. Round robin is not included in the best speaker. That's only for the prepared speeches. Sorry, 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah. All right. So the winner is a very openly materialistic. Congratulations. All right. So with that, I'll ask Shakuntala to give the evaluation separately to all the speakers who haven't been evaluated. I'll do that separately. But next Sunday, we have a session at 5 p.m. We have a book club meeting where we'll be reviewing the book Art of Storytelling. It's a fabulous book. I've gone through it, and a few members here have also gone through it. So it's a quick read. They can do so. We also have an author who will come for a session, who will talk about his process of writing a book and his journey. So if you're not participating in the book club session, you can just join in to get some motivation and inspiration on writing a book and get some insights from him.